I was thinking about something the other day. Could they do a multi-doctor story with all the different doctors nowadays? I mean, it would be fun. In this video, I'm going to try to explain it. So let's start with, well, let's see if they could do something with William Hartnell. Of course, he's dead, but yeah, let's see what they could do if they wanted to bring him back. I mean, they could always use David Bradley, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's like the most possible thing they could do. Um, I mean, he looks pretty much like William Hartnell. Of course, he has some differences, but like his eyes are a bit smaller and his cheeks are a bit different. Like his cheeks are a bit too skinny, but yeah. Overall, he looks more like William Hartnell than Richard Hartnell. That's always something. I mean, he does look quite a lot like him, ish. Well, he does look quite a lot like him. As you know, I don't really like when they replace actors in movies and stuff, but this could work. I mean, if they just, I don't know, didn't really show his face that much, they could do like a Plan 9 from Outer Space thing, or they could just not do that. But yeah, um, yeah, I think they could do it. I personally, I wouldn't complain if they did it. I guess they could use a tiny bit of makeup in his face, maybe, to make him look a tiny bit more like William Hartnell. I mean, yeah, they could do that. David Bradley does, because David Bradley does look quite a lot like William Hartnell. I guess he was in An Adventure in Time and Space, and in some scenes he looked quite a lot like him, and in some scenes it was... Yeah, he looks a bit too old, to be honest, but that's because he's 20 years older, so... Yeah, but he doesn't look 20 years older, he looks like 5 years old or something, but yeah, I think they could do it. Personally, I wouldn't complain. So, yeah, what about the second Doctor? Yeah, Patrick Troughton. So, how would they be able to bring him back? I've looked like for half an hour now, for lookalikes. Um, and like the closest lookalike I've been able to find would be Reece Smith. No, I disagree with me from half a year ago when I said that they look identical and stuff. I really don't know why I said that, but don't check out that video. That's just like the worst thing I've ever made. Well, one of the worst things I've ever made. Yeah, I did actually make a video about why Reece Smith looks a lot like Patrick Troughton, and I said like that they just had to use CGI to age him a bit, and then they would be identical. I personally disagree now. I don't think they should do that because they don't look that similar. Like they only have like this thing on their face, and that's about it. Um, and like similar eyes maybe, but I haven't been able to find anything. I mean, his like one of his sons looks a bit like him, but still doesn't really look that much like him. Personally, I don't think they could bring him back, but they could always just, I don't know, uh, dress some guy up in his clothes, and we could see him from behind, and then they could do like a stuck in a time thing again, like they did in the Five Doctors, and then we didn't have to use Patrick Troughton. But then again, they would probably have to do that with most of the Doctors. But personally, nope, we couldn't. Not nope, we can't get a Patrick Troughton nowadays. Sorry, it would be awesome, but sorry, it's dead. And CGI isn't good enough yet, even though they did make Arnold Schwarzenegger look. Well, they did make a CGI version of him in the Terminator, but yeah, that's the budget is much bigger for the Terminator, so they wouldn't be able to do that. With Patrick Troughton, so sorry, but nope, they wouldn't. Well, for Jon Pertwee, they always have Jon Pertwee's son, Jon Pertwee. Yeah, he looks really, really a lot like Jon Pertwee. Um, yeah, this is him. This is Jon Pertwee. They look really similar. His eyes are a bit different, a bit too small. And I don't think he doesn't look as old as Jon Pertwee, but yeah, apart from that, they look really similar. They do really look similar. Personally, would you mind if they did it? I personally wouldn't. I mean, he looks enough like Jon Pertwee, so I don't think like it's definitely Jon Pertwee. Well, it's definitely someone who looks almost identical to Jon Pertwee. Um, you can't tell it's not him, but they could use a tiny bit of CGI, maybe just a tiny bit, and yeah. Um, so personally, yeah, they could do something with Jon Pertwee. So that's yes, I suppose. So Tom Baker, yeah. Well, I have tried to Photoshop his old hair onto his what he looks like now. See what Tom Baker would look like if they actually used Tom Baker, or what the Fourth Doctor would look like if they actually used Tom Baker, and this is what he would look like. Personally, nah. What about lookalikes? We don't really have any lookalikes, and everyone would complain if it was Tom Baker. I think like Jon Pertwee and William Hartnell are the only two doctors that like could that they are like lookalikes where people would accept them as like, nah, what should they have done? So no, they can't do Tom Baker. Sorry, they can't. Well, they could always do him, but he would look like that. So yeah, so no, they can't really do Tom Baker, so he'll have to be stuck in the time thing again. So yeah. So what about Peter Davison? So this is what Peter Davison would look like if they used him in Doctor Who today. Well, this picture is from 2008, but he doesn't really look anything. Well, like he looks the same basically. So this is from the mini episode Time Crash he was in. No one complained. He looks older, but yeah, I mean you can definitely see it's him. He doesn't look well. He looks quite a lot older, but yeah, personally, yeah, I get. Yeah, they can do that definitely. I wouldn't complain. I don't think anyone really would if he looked like that. I mean, it's Peter Davison. I mean, he doesn't look that much older, but he looks older. But yeah, yeah, I think they could because you can like definitely tell it's him because like he's like 60 now or something. But like Tom Baker, he's like 80, so he would like be a bit old. Really, he would be quite old. Like yeah. So I think they could do that. Yeah. So yeah, this is what Colin Baker would look ish. I mean, his hair would probably look a bit more like the bad Photoshop thing I just did. But yeah, personally, yeah, they could use Colin Baker. I mean, yeah, he looks older, but they could. I personally think they could. So, Colin Baker is a check. Yeah, they could do that. Yeah. Okay, then there's Sylvester McCoy, and he would look like that nowadays. Yeah, definitely. They could definitely do that. Without a doubt. He looks a bit older, but they could definitely do that. So they can use Sylvester McCoy. That's it. Yes, they could do that. Okay, this is a bit odd. But yeah, they could do Paul McGann. And they could do all the doctors after him. Well, they could definitely do David Tennant and Matt Smith. So I don't really think I'm gonna cover those because they don't look that much older. I mean, yeah, David Tennant was in The Day of the Doctor. He was a bit fatter, I suppose, but that's like the only difference. So, but let's just see what Chris Ferguson would look like, and well, Paul McGann, he could definitely be in it. I mean, he was in it in 2013. He doesn't look older, so yeah. So let's see what Chris Ferguson would look like today. And yeah, they would be able to use Chris Ferguson because yeah, he was on the Doctor 11 years ago. This is what he looked like 2 years ago. Well, so yeah, he looks like that now. So definitely, I mean, they could just dye his hand. That's basically it. So they could definitely use Chris Ferguson. So yeah. So overall, what do I think? Yeah, they could use most of the Doctors. They could use, but of course, Chris Ferguson might not want to be in it because he doesn't really like Doctor Who. But we got. I mean, they could always like give him like half the budget or something. He would probably say yes, probably. But yeah, I mean, they could do something with William Hartnell look-alike. They could do some Stuck in a Time Stream with Second Doctor. They could do some Third Doctor, definitely. Fourth Doctor. They could, well, they could do some Stuck in a Time Stream thing, and I guess they could he could have some lines, but inside the time stream, so we don't see his face or something. I guess they could do that with the Second Doctor as well, because Christopher Thompson does a really good impression, so they could always make him do some lines where he's inside the time stream or something. But yeah, so Fifth Doctor definitely, Sixth Doctor, yeah, Seventh Doctor, yeah, Eighth Doctor. Do I really have to say that? Because of course, Ninth Doctor, yeah, 10th Doctor, yeah, 11th Doctor, yeah, and of course 12th Doctor. He's the current Doctor. They could use him, and yeah, they could use John Hurt as well because he doesn't really look older. It's only, well, in 2013 yet. So yeah, oh well, they could do a multi-Doctor story with, well, most of the classic Doctors. Most of them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for me, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye.